Welcome to the Jim Rohn Sampler. Jim Rohn, the man many consider to be America's foremost business philosopher, has been sharing his success philosophies and principles for almost 40 years with more than 6,000 audiences and over 4 million people worldwide. Jim is the recipient of the coveted CPAE Award from the National Speakers Association for Excellence in Speaking and is the author of over 25 books, audio, and video programs. Jim Rohn has been hailed over the years as one of the most influential thinkers of our time and has helped to motivate and train an entire generation of personal development trainers, as well as hundreds of executives from America's top corporations. Jim Rohn has been described as everything from a master motivator by Mark Victor Hansen, a national treasure by Vic Conant, one of the most profound thinkers and mind-expanding individuals of our time by Les Brown, one of the most articulate, powerful, thought-provoking speakers ever seen by Harvey Mackay, and an extraordinary human being and mentor by Tony Robbins. So now, let the man who has influenced so many help you to invent your future. Mr. Jim Rohn.
I hope you find here an incredible collection of good ideas, plus inspiration. And just make a note and link those two words together, ideas plus inspiration. See, that can be the explosive start of something incredible. The building of a company, the building of a country, the building of an idea, the building of an enterprise, the building of a relationship. Ideas plus inspiration. Ideas powerful enough to finally become reality, and inspiration enough to make sure it happens. Ideas. You know, it's interesting. I've been doing a subject recently. Here's the title of it: How to Turn Nothing into Something. How to turn nothing into something. And here's a little gist of what I've been covering. First, to turn nothing into something, you start with ideas and imagination. Now, it's hard to call ideas and imagination nothing. How tangible are ideas and imagination? It's a bit of a mystery. So you can't really call ideas that can be turned into a hotel, ideas that can be turned into an enterprise, ideas that can be turned into the Salk vaccine, ideas that can be turned into miracle products, ideas. You couldn't really call the idea nothing. It must have some kind of substance. And imagination can't really be nothing. We call it nothing because it isn't like tangible. It isn't like a podium. It isn't that real. But it is almost real. So to turn nothing into something, you start with ideas and imagination. Interesting. Ideas that become so powerful in your mind and your consciousness, they seem real to you even before they become tangible. Imagination that is so strong that you can actually see it. You can actually see it. When I built my first home for my family in Idaho all those years ago, before I started construction on this home, I used to take my friends and associates out to the vacant property and take them on a tour through the house. Is that possible? Is it possible to take someone on a tour through an imaginary house? And the answer is yes. I used to say, this is the 3-car garage. And the guy would look and say, yes, this garage will hold 3 cars. Right? I mean, I could really make it real, make it live. I would take them on a tour through the house. Here's the fireplace. And this fireplace is brick on one side and it's stone on the other side. I could make it real. Here's the rest of the house. Here's the kitchen with this view window. And they would look out the window as I took them on this tour. One day I made this house so real, one of my friends bumped his elbow on the fireplace. I mean, it was that real. So imagination, we call it nothing simply because nothing in terms of being tangible, but it is so real, it's almost real. So the first step is to imagine the possibilities. Imagine the possibilities. One of the reasons for seminars and sermons and the lyrics from songs and testimonials of others is to give us an idea of the possibilities. To imagine the possibilities. Now here's the second step of turning nothing into something. And that is to believe that what you imagine is possible for you. To believe that what you imagine is possible for you. And we become supported by testimonials that say something like, if I can do it, you can do it. And we start believing that. First, we imagine what's possible. Second, we start to believe that what's possible is possible for us. We might also believe because of our own testimonial. Here's what our testimonial might say. If I did it once, what? I could do it again. If it happened for me before, it could very well happen again. So we believe not only the testimonials of others who say, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can change, you can change. If I can start with nothing, you can start with nothing. If I can turn it all around, you can turn it all around. Then we also have the support of our own testimonial. If we've accomplished something before, if we did it once, we can do it again. If we did it last year, we could do it this year. So those two things are very powerful. Now, they're not actual substance, although they're very close. One is to imagine the possibilities. Two is to imagine that what's possible is possible for you. Here's what we call that second step, faith to believe. In fact, one writer said this, faith is substance. An interesting word, that the powerful ability to believe in the possibilities that are possible for you. If you have faith to believe, that faith is substance. Substance meaning a piece of the real. Now, it's not the real. It's not the podium. But it is so powerful that it's so close to being real. So the writer said the faith is a piece of, the substance of, and then he called it evidence, substance and evidence. So it's difficult to call substance and evidence nothing. It is nothing in the sense that it can't be seen except with the inner eye. You can't get a hold of it because it isn't yet tangible. But it is possible to turn nothing, especially ideas and imagination. Now, if you believe that it's possible for you, that substance and evidence becomes so powerful that it now can be turned into reality. So the first step is to imagine what's possible. Second step, to believe that what's possible is possible for you. Now, here's the third step. And that is to go to work and make it real. You go to work and make it a podium. You go to work and make it a hotel. You go to work and make it an enterprise. You go to work and make it good health. You go to work and make it an association. You go to work and make it a good marriage. You now go to work and make it a movement. You make it tangible. You make it viable. You breathe life into it. And then you construct it. That is such a powerful ability for all of us as human beings. I just wanted to take the time to drop that in before I move on to so many other subjects. How to turn nothing into something. Now, here's the last part. It takes the disciplined activity to turn nothing into something finally. Faith without the activity serves no useful purpose. But faith invested into the activity creates reality. Once I understood that, I knew then it was possible to build a career. I knew it was possible to build good health. I knew it was possible to build a relationship. I knew I could participate in the constructing of valuable things, valuable enterprises, valuable things that would help and benefit other people. I knew I could be part of it, and I knew I could do it once I understood this formula. So here's the last part now. Appreciate now the disciplines that turns imagination into reality. Because without the disciplines, it doesn't work. The discipline is the last piece of the miracle process. The last piece of the miracle process is to do the work. To do the work of good health. To do the work of a relationship. To do the work of building this hotel. Incredible. So now here's the next one, especially I'm sure for this mature audience that have come to be with me on this weekend. To welcome the disciplines. Now, you know, unless you're mature and unless you really understand, some people said, you know, I wouldn't want to welcome disciplines. You know, they're distasteful. But once you understand that they are the miracle piece of the process, then you welcome the discipline. That's why I'm sure the ancient formula said 6 days of discipline. That's a good word to add. 6 days of disciplined activity creates the miracle of your living, creates the miracle of a fortune, creates the miracle of a city, creates the miracle of a polio vaccine, creates the miracle of music. Ideas and imagination, believing in the possibilities, and then invest the imagination and the faith into the discipline.
Welcome to the Jim Rohn Sampler. Jim Rohn, the man many consider to be America's foremost business philosopher, has been sharing his success philosophies and principles for almost 40 years with more than 6,000 audiences and over 4 million people worldwide. Jim is the recipient of the coveted CPAE Award from the National Speakers Association for Excellence in Speaking and is the author of over 25 books, audio, and video programs. Jim Rohn has been hailed over the years as one of the most influential thinkers of our time and has helped to motivate and train an entire generation of personal development trainers, as well as hundreds of executives from America's top corporations. Jim Rohn has been described as everything from a master motivator by Mark Victor Hansen, a national treasure by Vic Conant, one of the most profound thinkers and mind-expanding individuals of our time by Les Brown, one of the most articulate, powerful, thought-provoking speakers ever seen by Harvey Mackay, and an extraordinary human being and mentor by Tony Robbins. So now, let the man who has influenced so many help you to invent your future. Mr. Jim Rohn.